Alright, guys, and we're back. I wake suddenly. I feel sick, and my entire body aches. Every time my heart beats, a sharp pain stabs my head. My intense headache prevents me from remembering anything. My body is cold and stiff, likely because I've been sleeping in the hallway for a long time. The only thing I can figure out is that the chest area of my uniform is torn, and my blood stains the hall floor. My head feels hazy as I get up. The spot where I've been lying looks like a murder scene. Was my chest stabbed? I fight down a surge of nausea as I head into a nearby classroom. Staggering, I open a closet and pull out a rag and a bucket. I'm still confused. I encountered something unbelievable, then it murdered me. But here I am still trying to clean up after myself. How stupid can I be? That's definitely not a first response thing that I would do if I managed to recover from an injury like that. Clean up after myself. I'd probably just, go home or to a hospital. I wipe at the floor with a rag I found. I managed to wipe off the blood despite the incredible weakness in my whole body, then gather up everything scattered around the floor and shove it in my pockets. This may be my way of hiding any evidence. I must be doing such stupid stuff because my head's all hazy. I put the rag and bucket away and stagger out of the school like a zombie. My body heats up with every step I take. It's so cold outside, yet my body seems to be on fire. By the time I reach my house, the date has changed. There's nobody in the house. Sakura and even Fujine left long ago. I collapse on the floor. Lying on the floor is what lets me finally calm down a bit. I inhale deeply. My heart feels like it cracks every time my chest expands to draw in air. Actually, it's the opposite. It's not that my heart is cracking. The hole in my heart was just patched up, so expanding my chest opens the wound. That's also not true. I wasn't almost killed. I was killed. But someone saved me, and now I'm alive. If they were in the area, it means they could be involved with the people fighting. But it still doesn't change the fact that they saved me, so I need to thank them properly one day. The moment I drop my guard, the pain returns. At the same time, nausea strikes me. I sit up to hold the nausea at bay. You might want to lie down. I place my hand on my bare chest where the uniform is torn. I might have been saved, but my chest was, as a matter of fact, pierced. That feeling, the agony of the spear tip piercing my chest, isn't something I can easily forget. When I close my eyes, I feel the spear thrust again. I try to shake that delusion off, and I make every effort to regain my composure. This must be thanks to my nightly training. My thoughts clear as I take slow, deep breaths. The fever and nausea abate a bit. The man in blue and the man in red. They looked human, but I know they're not. They could have been ghosts of some kind. but I've never heard of ghosts having forms that allow them to interact with humans like that, nor injured them at that. And the thing was talking, which makes it a little hard to believe it was a ghost, if it had a will of its own. From what I've heard, the only spirits that possess physical bodies are the elemental types, but I thought elementals didn't look human. There's a more fundamental issue. Those two were trying to kill each other, and there was a robbery and a murder at a house nearby. Eerie stuff like that has been plaguing Fuyuki lately. With all of this in mind, the only conclusion I can come to is that the situation is out of my control. I guess that was kind of whiny, but I'll put it down to the patched up chest wound that still feels so raw. I can complain later. First of all, I need to decide whether I should get involved or not. Ah, crap. The bell on the roof of the house rings. No matter what anyone says, this house is still a mage's house. A bounded field is set around it, and if there's ever an intruder in the area, an alarm rings. I berate myself for my own idiocy. Of course it's not a burglar. Given the timing right after that weird incident, there's definitely an intruder. It's no burglar, it's an assassin. They're here to take a life, not property. Because that man said so himself. You saw what you saw, so you gotta die. The house is dead silent. That same murderous intent I felt at school creeps closer through the hushed darkness. I gulp. A chill prickles like needles along my spine. It's no illusion, and it's not my imagination. I know that the moment I leave this room, I'll be stabbed again. I desperately try to contain my scream. The instant I scream, the assassin will just leap right in and kill me. And that would just be a repeat of what happened before. I'm not prepared, and I'm going to be impaled again. My breathing grows labored as soon as that thought crosses my mind. I'm mad. I'm mad at myself for being afraid. And I'm mad that I put myself in a situation where I'll so easily lose my life after it was saved earlier this same damn day. I grit my teeth and hold my hand tight over my wounded chest to restrain myself. I need to get used to this. This is the second time. This is the second time I'm about to die. That alone motivates me not to die so pathetically as last time. Am I not a mage after all? And if I can't even defend myself from this, what were my 8 years of training for? I'm not going to agonize over complicated things anymore. Right now I just need to drive away whoever's here. I may call myself a mage, but the only thing I can do is reinforce something that might work as a weapon. You need a weapon to fight after all. There's plenty of things that might work as a weapon in the storehouse, but I'm not anywhere near there. If I leave the living room and get ambushed, I'm going to expose myself and it'll be a repeat of what happened earlier. It won't be easy, but I've got to find a weapon here. Something long and thin would be good. My opponent's weapon of choice is a spear, so a knife would be all but useless. A wooden sword would be best, but I obviously don't have one just lying around. Something around here that might be suitable as a weapon. I can't help but feel utterly dejected, but the desperation makes me all the more determined. The situation's so bad it can't really get any worse. Then all that's left for me to do is to move forward until I have no energy left. I speak my incantation, and I inject magical energy into the rolled up 60cm poster. I try to imbue as much magical energy as I possibly can into the poster to solidify it, since it needs to work as a weapon to go up against that spear. I focus my consciousness. Magical energy permeates the poster, as if I'm staining its fibers with my own blood. I feel that I've hit the end. Right before magical energy spreads throughout the poster and spills out, I say, I cut off my connection with the poster. I tremble with excitement. The poster is as hard as steel, but its weight remains the same as before. It turned out great for a hastily improvised sword. Your life's on the line, man. You're gonna have to get it in one go. How long has it been since my strengthening magecraft succeeded? My magecraft hasn't worked ever since Kitsugu died, and so for it to succeed at a time like this seems ironic. I may be able to defend myself. I at least have some discipline in swordsmanship. I grip the poster with both hands and stand in the middle of the living room. If I stay here, I'm dead. But I don't think I can make it outside the mansion either. So I just need to head to the shed and make a stronger weapon there. Just as I start trying to hype myself up, every hair on my body stands on end. I'm not sure when he got in, but the guy drops from the ceiling, straight toward me. A silvery flash strikes my head from above. I can only assume he came through the ceiling, and he descends on me, meaning to skewer my head. I roll forward in a frantic dodge. The man lands with an inhumane grace as I clumsily roll out of the way. I stop myself quickly and get to my feet, makeshift sword at the ready. The guy turns lazily, looking bored. He shifts the spear to his other hand in a slow, fluid movement. I don't know why, but he doesn't seem as aggressive as he did at the school, which might give me a chance at escaping him. He's complaining to himself, like I'm not even here. I slowly retreat back out of the room. Only 3 more meters until I reach the window. I'll run out, and it's only about 20 meters to the shed once I reach the yard. Then I should quickly. He says it's almost absent-mindedly, like it was just an afterthought. Pain shoots up my right arm. It all happens in an instant. He thrusts his spear forward, not even giving me the time to react. I should have died for a second time right there. The makeshift sword in my hand spared me that fate. He probably thought I'd just been holding a rolled up paper. He struck as if I had been holding anything at all, but I reinforced the paper sword, deflected the attack so it only grazed my arm. His expression goes blank. His casual attitude from earlier vanishes entirely. He watches me now like a feral animal eyeing its prey. Crap, I was clearly wrong, thinking things would be okay. The thing before me is some kind of demon, unbound by logic. I keenly realized that letting my guard down even for a second was beyond ludicrous. That's right. Desperate as things are, I should have just made a break for the window right after whatever miracle let me dodge a strike from above. The end of his spear points towards me. I can't block that. There's no way I'll be able to block that swift attack. I could at least brace myself if he had a sword, no matter how fast he might be with it. But he's holding a spear. A sword is a whole line, but a spear is only a point. How am I supposed to block a point when I can't even see how fast it moves? The man drops into a lower stance. In a flash, the spear swings in sideways. I instinctively parried the blow aimed at my face. It's a cyclone. I'm not sure how he's moving his spear in this small room, but it traces a beautiful arc without even touching the walls. The next swing comes from the opposite side, aiming at my torso. The force of the swing bends my makeshift sword as I try to parry. Monstrous. Is that a hammer he's swinging? Damn, the numbness in my arms is telling me that they might be broken. I instinctively swing my sword. He must be mocking me with the way he keeps flicking his spear at my sword without drawing back at all. Numbness creeps into my arms after going on the attack. My makeshift sword bends even more, and the man's spear changes trajectory slightly. He moves like this is just a game. There's such confidence. He'd be letting me take a swing at him after he took a couple of shots at me. I wasted my one opportunity as nothing more than a stopgap. So he sees no point in continuing this. The man readies his spear again. During that microscopic opening, I don't turn back to look. I just leap backward through the window. My back shatters the window, and I roll into the yard. I roll a few times, spring upward, and I blindly make my next move. I twist my entire body and swing behind myself. I manage to bat the man's spear aside, and he hesitates for just an instant. I knew it. If I jumped out the window, he was going to have to chase after me, and he would have catched up to me and go in for the kill before I had a chance to get up. So I expected his fatal blow and swung my sword to the side with all my might. It was a risky move. He'd have killed me if I had been a second late, and I'd have just been just as dead if I was early too. But knowing this incredible gap in our skill, I figured there was no way I could have been early. The only thing I had to do was to get up as quickly as I could and parry the attack I knew would be coming at my back. The gamble pays off and my swing deflects his spear. I quickly reposition myself. Now, I just need to run to the shed while he's still confused. Tobe. He's not holding the spear anymore, and he's right in front of me. He turns on the spot in a roundhouse kick. Scenery goes flying by. My chest goes numb where he kicked me. I can't breathe. The biggest surprise? I'm actually flying through the air. I never thought a guy kicking me would send me into the air like a damn ball. I fall hard into my back. I slam into a wall, the impact likely breaking my back and slide down to the ground. I can't breathe. My vision blurs. By a stroke of luck, he's thrown me into the shed I wanted to reach. I lean against the wall trying to rouse myself. I try to track the man through blurry eyes. He kicked me nearly 20 meters away. This guy picks his spear up and rushes straight at me. I'm gonna die. There's nothing I can do now. He's gonna reach me. If I don't want to die, I need to get up and parry his hit. The tip of the spear surges. I can't even look back at him. My body on the verge of collapse practically greets the spear. What dumb luck. My knees give out and I can't hold myself up. The spear goes over my head and violently impales the shed's heavy door, pushing it open. And this is my last chance. If only I could get inside the shed, there should be something I can use as a weapon. I crawl into the shed on all fours. Just then, he launches the spear at me. I block it. I open up the rolled up poster to create a single-use shield. The impact makes a dull sound. The poster unrolled probably isn't as strong. It blocks the spear, but it tears apart, returning to a normal bit of paper. The spear's impact flings me against the wall. I fall on my butt and try to get my heart beating again after it feels like it's trying to quit on me. The moment I raise my head to try and grab something to use as a weapon.
爪だ。今のは割と驚かされたぜ、坊主。
The man points his spear in front of my face. I can't do anything else now. His spear is pointed directly at my heart. I know this feeling. It's the scent of death assailing my nostrils, reminding me of the pain I felt a few hours ago.
しかし、わからねえな。起点は効くくせに魔術はからっきしときた。筋はいいようだが、まだ若すぎたか。
I don't hear the man's voice. My attention is focused on the weapon pointed at me. Obviously. The moment he thrusts, I'm dead. What else is there to think of at this point?
もしやとは思うが、お前が7人目だったのかもな。ま、だとしても、これで終わりなんだが。
His arm jerks. I wasn't able to see his movements earlier, but now I see every last one in slow motion. There's a bolt of silvery light. The tip seems like it's being drawn towards my heart. Blood will gush from the wound in just a second. I know this feeling. That sensation of iron piercing my body. That taste of blood that will well up in my throat. That feeling of the world around me fading. I experienced all of it earlier today. And now I'm going to have to experience it again? Really? I don't understand. Why do I have to be the one who goes through this? This is bullshit. No, I can't die in vain in a place like this. I was saved. If I was saved, I can't just die like this. I need to live to fulfill my obligations. I won't be able to do that if I'm dead. The spear is still going to impale me, though. The tip will tear through my flesh, break my ribs, and bore into my heart. I'm mad. It shouldn't be so damn easy to kill people like this. I'm gonna die and it's bullshit. I'm gonna die twice in a single goddamn day. Everything is fucking bullshit. I'm gonna die and I didn't even have the opportunity to be afraid of this whole goddamn mess.
ふざけるな。俺は。
I'm not gonna let myself die senselessly to the likes of you. Is absolutely the right word for this moment.
何?
Like magic. A figure appears out of a bright light shining from behind me. I can't think. All I know is that the figure is a girl. I hear a high-pitched sound. And the moment the figure appears, it pushes aside the spear pressed to my heart and steps between me and the man without missing a beat.
本気か。7人目のサーバントだと。
He tries to regain his composure after his spear is pushed aside as the girl brandishes something in her hand. Sparks fly. Hard metal clashes and sparks fly again. The man stomps his foot after blocking the woman's attack. He must have realized he's at a disadvantage because he leaps out of the storehouse with bestial agility. She must intimidate him, but she quietly turns towards me. The wind is strong today. The clouds slide away and the moon shines through for a brief instant. The silver moonlight shines into the shed, illuminating the girl who appears like a knight. I'm speechless. And it's not because I'm confused by all the things that just happened. The girl before me is so astonishingly beautiful that I'm at a loss for words. The girl's eyes, like precious jewels, stare at me without emotion.
とう、あなたが私のマスターか。
Her voice sounds so valiant.
マスター。
I can only repeat her words back to her. I don't understand what she's saying, nor do I know who she is. All I know is that this slender, delicate-looking girl is similar to the man outside. She says nothing, continuing to look at me in silence. I don't know how to describe her. She's special. So special that I forget entirely about the man outside, even though he might attack at any moment. Time seems to have stopped. Even the fear of death I felt moments ago vanishes, and there's only the girl standing before me.
サーバンとセーバー召喚に従い参上した。マスター指示を。
It's the second time she speaks. And the moment I hear the word master and the name Saber echoes in my ears. Saber summoned. Hell yeah! Pain shoots through my left hand. It's hot, like being branded by an iron. I unconsciously press the back of my left hand. Taking that as a sign, the girl silently nods her beautiful head.
これより我が剣はあなたと共にあり、あなたの運命は私と共にある。ここに契約は完了した。
契約って何の？
I'm still a mage in training, so I understand what those words mean. But the girl doesn't respond to my question. She simply looks away with the same grace she'd shown when she nodded. She turns towards the shed's ruined door. Outside, the man readies his spear. She moves faster than expected. The girl in knight's armor leaps out of the shed without hesitation. I forget about the pain I feel, and I get up to follow her. She can't possibly go up against that guy. No matter how heavily armored she is, she's smaller than I am.
やめ！
The echoing clang drowns out my words. I can't believe what I'm seeing. My head really does go blank this time.
なんだあいつ。
The clash of swords echoes around me. The moon slips behind the clouds, and the yards grows dark once more. And within the darkness, sparks fly as steel strikes steel. Without saying a word, the spear-wielding man meets the girl who leaped from the shed. She parries his spear and knocks away his other successive attacks, driving him back with each attack. I can't believe it. This girl, Saber, is somehow overpowering the man. The battle has begun. What happened between the man and I earlier doesn't even count as battle. A battle? That's a fight between two people, each able to kill the other. No matter the difference in ability, it can still be called a battle as long as both are able to kill the other. In that sense, these two are fighting a battle. The man attacks her, swinging his spear so quickly I can't even see his strikes. Somehow, she parries his every attack perfectly, with something as she closes in on him. The man backs up slightly, clicking his tongue hatefully. He holds his spear vertically to ward off her attacks on his side. For a moment, his spear glows. His attack almost looks like it caused an explosion. The man's spear sparks as if electrified every time whatever weapon the girl is wielding strikes it. The man and I both could tell what it is. Its furious magical energy so dense it can actually be seen. Her attacks are charged with incredible amounts of magical energy. The unbelievable amount of magical energy crackles along her opponent's weapon every time they make contact. The sheer force of her attacks must be staggering. If the man's spear strikes are precise, like a sniper rifle, her blows must be like the overpowering blast of a shotgun. The girl's attacks bathe the yard in flickering light, and yet, that's not what's overpowering the man.
卑怯者め、自らの武器を隠すとは何事か。
The man curses at the girl as he evades her unrelenting attacks. She doesn't respond other than to step up her attacks with her invisible weapon.
てめえ。
The man retreats, having hardly so much as a chance to counterattack. Her weapon is invisible. Without being able to determine the weapon's range, it'd be reckless to go in for an attack. That's the trouble with an invisible weapon. But she's definitely got something in her hand.